Hello, my darlings. It's been a while. I had surgery to my hand, and I guess that will put a damper in cooking, huh? But I'm back. My hand is good, stronger than ever. You'll see my little bandage on there. Excuse that. Thank you for hanging out with me. I really am so happy to be back here. Today I'm going to be making chicken and waffles, soft shell crab, baked sweet potatoes, and grilled broccoli. So what I'm doing right now is just wrapping the sweet potatoes in some foil. You don't have to poke them, split them, anything. Just wash the sweet potatoes, wrap them in foil, stick them in the oven, 400 degrees until they're tender. Here I have some breasts of chicken that I got from the Amish market. Got it. And I have a soft shell crab that I got from there as well. I'm using some all-purpose seasoning, some Chesapeake Bay spice, and a little bit of pepper and salt because neither of the all-purpose seasonings that I'm using are salty. I have my chicken breasts. They've been washed and dried on a paper towel, and I'm going to cut them down into manageable size pieces. So I'm going to make slices into the chicken breast, probably about 3 slices per chicken breast, depending on how big your breasts are. And I started off with with a knife, and then I go back and cut it with scissors because it's just easier for me to cut the bone with kitchen scissors than to ruin my beautiful knife here. As you can see, this is my Japanese knife, and I love this knife. You always want to wash up when you're preparing chicken. You want to make sure you wash your hands after, and you want to take all the utensils that you use with that chicken and throw it in the sink, and also wipe down the counter when you get done. And I'm seasoning my chicken breast with the all-purpose seasoning, salt and pepper. I have some AP flour, which is all-purpose flour here, and I'm seasoning my flour with the all-purpose seasoning also. Flouring the chicken and the crab. I flour my chicken and I let it sit while I prepare all the other things that I need to do in order to fry it, and then I redip my chicken into the flour before I fry it. So now we're going to prepare to make the waffles. I have some AP flour, I have organic sugar, Amish butter, baking powder, salt, and egg. I want to show you guys a little video of the farm where I get my produce and my eggs from, and it's a beautiful farm with horses and chickens and ducks, pear trees, apple trees, peach trees, acres of flowers, gorgeous place. So I've added 2 cups of my flour to my mixing bowl, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. Four tablespoons of baking powder, and 2 tablespoons of salt, and I'm using kosher salt here. Here are my lovely eggs and my Fairlife milk. Ran out of that, so this is an Amish brand milk. I'm using 1.5 cups. I'm warming the milk in the microwave, and you don't want it hot, you just want it lukewarm. 2 eggs. If you want really fluffy waffles, in which I didn't in this case because the chicken is kind of heavy on the top of it, but if you're making breakfast waffles, what I usually do is separate my eggs. I separate the whites from the yolk and I whip the whites into stiff peaks. And I mix all my ingredients together except the egg whites. And at the end, after the batter is ready, I fold in the egg whites. And it will give you really buttery, soft, fluffy waffles. Very tender waffles, delicious waffles. But in this case, because I'm making a savory preparation, I want my waffles to be kind of heavy, sort of more spongy. So I'm letting my batter just rest for about 10-15 minutes so all the flour can soak into it and it can become kind of fluffy. It actually kind of blooms when you leave it to set. I'm preparing my broccoli here. My broccoli has been cleaned already, and I just cut the florets apart, seasoning with salt and pepper, and I'm going to grill the broccoli because it gives it so much flavor. It really deepens the broccoli flavor and it gives it a nice grilled kind of flavor, which is better than just boring plain broccoli. So I've gotten my grill pan really hot and I'm adding my broccoli, and what I'm going to do is cover it with a piece of foil because I want the broccoli to kind of steam a little bit and also be crispy on the outside. So in cooking it in this method, the broccoli will be kind of a little bit crunchy on the outside and very tender on the inside, but delicious. Just don't cook it too long. I'm redipping my chicken now, getting ready to put it in the hot oil. And I have preheated some oil in a skillet for both my soft shell crab and for my chicken. And I have my oil at 375 degrees. You can kind of drop a little piece of flour in there, and if you start to see bubbles, you know that your oil is ready. As you can see, there's lots of bubbles there. My oil is hot and it's perfect temperature. You don't want to overcrowd the pan either because it'll bring the temperature down and your food won't be as crispy as you like it, and also it'll be greasy. Anytime you've had kind of greasy food or greasy fried food is because the temperature wasn't right. If the temperature is perfect, the grease will set on the outside of the ingredient and just crisp up the outside, but the inside will still be the juice from the chicken or whatever you're cooking. It won't be greasy. You want to only fry these for about 3 minutes each side, depending on how big your slices are. Because my slices are pretty thin here, I'm frying my chicken 3 minutes on each side and pull it out. My soft shell crab, I'm going to fry that 1.5 minutes per side. I'm turning my broccoli here and covering it back. And I'm going to give my broccoli about another 1.5 minutes, and I'm going to pull the broccoli also. I've pulled my soft shell crab out and put that on some kitchen paper to drain. That's one batch of chicken. Now I'm putting in the other 3 pieces or 2 pieces. Pulling my broccoli now. Now I'm spraying my waffle iron, and you want to spray the waffle iron for the first waffle. After you've cooked the first waffle, you don't have to spray it again. You just spray it for the first time use. And this little measuring cup actually came with my waffle iron, but you can use a regular measuring cup. I would say it's about maybe half a cup of waffle batter. And I have this double Cuisinart waffle maker. It's amazing. You can make 2 waffles at one time. I like my waffles pretty light. If you like yours darker, you can put the setting on dark. This waffle maker from Cuisinart has a setting 1 to 5, so you can decide how light, how dark you want your waffles. Depending on how focused you are, how much time you have, if you're making waffles and you are doing other things, you can put the waffles in the oven on warm while you're making the other waffles. And I have some leftover melted butter that I had from my when I made my batter, and I'm brushing each waffle with melted butter when it comes out of the iron. This is good butter, and this is not a fat-free night, so I'm using the rest of the leftover butter to glaze the rest of the waffles that I have. And I'm all done there. It's made about 6.5 waffles. But who's counting? Here are my sweet potatoes right out of the oven. The only thing that I'm going to do is cut off the very end and peel these and slice these to put them up on top of my waffle. I don't want to add anything else to it because the maple syrup is sweet enough. If you like, you can add some cinnamon to it or nutmeg. You can add brown sugar to yours as well. But this is just how I like to eat. And the meal is kind of fattening enough, so I'm just trying to keep it a little healthy. To plate, I put a soft shell crab or 2 pieces of chicken on top of the waffle. Put some broccoli alongside it, and then top it with the sweet potatoes. This meal was so delicious, guys. I can't even begin to imagine to tell you how good it was. If you can use your imagination, this was so delicious. Waffle, tender, chicken. I'm sure it was crispy and juicy. I don't eat meat, so I don't know, but I cooked it perfectly. But my soft shell crab was just to die for, perfectly seasoned, crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside. I have a good farm maple syrup here that I'm using. Please give it a try. Once again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you taking the time out to watch my videos. Please give me a like, and please subscribe. Love you. Thank you.